So I'm on this video right now by SBW, also known as Sad Black Women, and the video is called Why Black Women Belong with White Men. And of course, you have a lot of people in the comment section that are feeling some type of way and just have to say something stupid. And see, here you can see the channel says it has a little over 7,000 subscribers. But the amount of comments on this video is almost 5,000. See, 4.8K. So you would think with that many subscribers, why this one video has that many comments? Most videos with only that many subscribers don't have that many comments. And people on YouTube are lazy and they don't leave comments on videos. And the engagement from the YouTubers, between YouTubers and their subscribers and viewers is piss poor. And I'm not saying that everybody on YouTube is lazy, but people have found out that the comment section is garbage, and YouTube allows a lot of people just to make unlimited troll accounts, so it's just pointless. But on this video, we have a lot of interaction. It's only been here for 4 years, and it's got almost 5,000 comments. I've seen videos that from people I've subscribed to. They've been on YouTube for several years, longer than this, and their videos about as old as this or a little older, and their comment section have like 126 comments. And nowadays their videos only get 25 comments. So people just can't stand the truth. I'm not saying I agree with everything he says, but I agree with some of the things he says, and the points that they're arguing against is just not making sense. And it's funny how people will argue everything saying interracial couples are beautiful, the trolls, or well, we belong with men that we are more fit for. I agree. What they really mean is that fuck you, we're going to be with these white men and swirl. And then there are some other people that are just coming and saying he's a sick person, he's twisted. What happened with his mother? Somebody must have hurt him. All this, he must have lost a black girlfriend to a white person. All this nonsense. They have time to type all this, right? Instead of just shutting the fuck up. But you know what I really find interesting? If you haven't noticed it already, why aren't the comments addressing this that's at the top of the screen? This is not the original thumbnail for the video. The original thumbnail looks like this. It shows two interracial couples. But at the same time, why is it that they're not addressing this thumbnail that appears while you're watching it? And so you saw it when I showed it the first time, it was a little more clearer. So it says leading causes of death among African Americans since 1973. AIDS, 227,695. Violent crime, 329,313. Accidents, 408,723. Cancer, 1,324,250. Heart disease, 2,503,789. Abortions, the highest death among African Americans since 1973. 14,500,000. And I'm guessing that's just a rough estimate. That was in 2015. There's no telling when this statistic was taken, so it's way higher now. Especially since Planned Parenthood is the biggest provider, and they do it through state-funded insurance, which is funded by Medicaid and Medicare, which is also federal. Basically part of welfare. So, yeah, it's a problem. And like he said in the video, and I 100% agree, if a black woman is pregnant with a white man's baby or any other race other than black especially, but especially white, she will think twice before aborting that child. That is true. Even if the father doesn't want anything to do with the baby, she will think twice before aborting that child because they favor mixed children over pure black children that they're having with other black men. This is absolute fact. This is true. It's true. It's a trophy and a prize to behold among their female family members and their friends. It is. I mentioned this in one of my videos before. There's nothing like having that baby with the good her, right? This is true. I've seen this, and it is really sad. So we're not going to address this stuff. We're going to address everything else he said, but we're not going to address what's in this screenshot. and he didn't make these statistics. Okay, so that is a problem, absolutely, and it's something that needs to be talked more about. I mean, it's women that have the final say so as to whether they go into that operating room and have that baby removed out of them. They have the final say so, don't they? Men don't have no say so over whether that happens. I mean, you could say, oh, because black men didn't want the baby, or they forced the woman. Ain't no man forcing no woman into getting no abortion. The man can't go into the office to talk about it and be counseled about it, and then go into the operating room and sit there and make sure she get it. That's not how that works. And I know because I've been in one of them places. Okay, so that's how I know what the fuck I'm talking about. So yeah. So anyway, yeah, and they have the metal detectors and all this other foolishness. Like, if somebody really wanted to do something to them places, they would think about it a whole nother way. But that's another topic. But yeah. So it's like they have the final say so as to whether or not they're gonna kill one of their own black babies. There's nobody forcing them to do a damn thing. And another thing I would like to know about, all these deadbeat dads, black men are nothing but deadbeat dads. I would sure like to know, where are all these black men running to? Where is this utopia that all of these men, especially black men, are running to, that where they can be carefree and not have to worry about children that they helped get a woman pregnant, and that the woman actually decided to keep it when she has an option of Plan B pill, birth control, patches, the shot for birth control, the vaginal insert, diaphragms. Like, you have 30 options, fully or co-funded by the taxpayers or through your insurance for free to you, including the Plan B pill. You have abortion, which, I don't think, I don't favor abortion. I'm against it, actually. I'm just going to make that clear. But you have women that don't do that either, but then blame it on the man. And then you have adoption. You have safe haven laws. You can drop the baby off at hospitals, fire station, police station. Yet the men are deadbeats, and they're responsible for you having a baby that you didn't want to have and take care of, when there's an incentive for single mothers to make sure that a man is not in the household, not only when the child is born, but even up to when the child is all the way up to 17. Because if the family have a mother and father, and they go to a place, say they go on hard times, but the father's still working, if they go into any housing office or welfare office, social services office, to apply for housing vouchers, government housing assistance, welfare via cash assistance to help pay for rent and bills, food stamps or Medicaid, even though the man is working and the woman is not, when they both go in and apply together, guess whose name is getting put on the head of household? So there is an incentive for black women to become single mothers. Don't sit here and act like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Okay? So, like, yeah, that's exactly how it goes. That's exactly how it goes. There is an incentive to either make sure there's no man around when the baby is born, or get rid of the man. If they decide they don't want the man around, they can claim domestic violence, or just say they don't want the man living there no more. And since they're head of household on the lease, especially if the house is government funded and or government partially paid, Section 8, project housing, things like that, FEPS, things like that, depending on where you live. And if they're on any kind of government assistance, since they're head of household on every form and lease that there is in the house, they can easily say they don't want the man no more there. They don't even have to file a domestic violence report. The man have to leave. The kids get to stay. The mother gets to stay. He's easily pushed out the house, and she gets to keep everything that she applied for. I know what I'm talking about. But we're going to sit here and talking about, we got deadbeat dads that are running to some utopia with all the other deadbeat dads. To get away from what? To get away from what, bruh? Child support is not voluntary anymore. It hasn't been for a couple of decades now. It comes out of people's check. So you mean men are running away to get away from their kids and abandon their families? Do you know it costs more money to support children when the father is not in the house via child support than to support him while he's living in the house, providing for the whole family? Did you know that? There's no such thing as a bunch of deadbeat fathers running away because they don't want to be dads. Get the fuck out of here with this bullshit. I just thought I would set the record straight on that nonsense. Running away for what? The man can't even fucking work a job because they robbing his check for whatever the fuck they feel like. You got women that say, oh, the man don't send me shit for child support. When did he ever have an option in the U.S. to decide when and how much he sends you for child support? They will rob the man's check for whatever they feel like, and if he loses his job or his wages go down, his hours per week go down, they keep on taking the same amount, and if he can't pay, he's thrown in jail. And instead of helping the man find a job or find more work, you throw him in jail. So now he can't support himself or his kids at all. And now that he's in jail, he owes back child support with interest. Where's the interest going? When women say they don't get enough in their pocket from the child support, like the man have a say so over how much they take, you know that they do take a certain amount and put it in their pocket, right? You know that they do have undispersed funds for child support that the mothers have never gotten because they're on welfare, right? And eventually they never get these funds. You can look that up. So let's not sit and talk about deadbeat dads running to some utopia because they don't want to be responsible dads. It's cheaper to support a child when you're in the house than when you're not. And these women, they want to sit up here and argue all the time and run the men away via either being possessive and jealous that they're sleeping with somebody else, even if they're not. Or they just want to start arguments because they want to be the man of the house, literally. And they and probably always pushing in the man's face that they got their name as head of household and everything. This is why I recommend that a man never stay with a woman, period. I mean, I'm telling you, don't do it. Don't never move in with a woman. If you have kids with a woman, just live in two separate places and support the child. You know what I'm saying? I mean, as a matter of fact, nowadays, don't even fucking have kids. Who the hell want to bring kids into a fucked up world like this with all this shit going on? I mean, seriously, who even really wants to do it the same? But I just thought I'd put that out there to set the record straight about some of this deadbeat dad propaganda nonsense. Give me a fucking break. Plus, there's an incentive for the social services in different states to separate the father out of the household. There's an incentive for that also. You know, the family court workers and the judges, that's how they make their paycheck. You got to know that. HRA or social services, DFS, whatever you want to call it in your state, if you're in the U.S., is tied into the family court system. They have offices in there that handle child support. This is their fucking bankroll, okay? It's an incentive. It's not like men are just willingly walking away. I always thought that didn't make any sense. So I just wanted to say those things.